Greetings. Welcome back to Black Bear News, where everything is connected. How y'all doing? Could everybody hear the music at the beginning? I was just trying something out. And hopefully that worked out for you. Please, if you would, please let me know. Welcome to Black Bear News, where we live in rarefied air. 77 degrees in Missouri. Okay. And snow on Friday. 77 degrees. Balmy. Balmy. My teaser worked? Okay, great. Cool, cool, cool. Cool. Thanks for the link, Denver. I appreciate it. I'll check that out. I'll check that out in my spare time. We're live on Callin, Rockfin, and on YouTube. Come hang out with us on Callin, where you can listen to the show as a podcast and call in. Stuff like that. You can follow me on Twitter if you dare. People don't like following me on Twitter. Or maybe I'm just assuming that. I'm too outside the box for people. Even for the alt media truther crowd, I'm too outside the box. It looks like, I don't know, some of the races still are undecided in the election. It looks like the GOP is going to take the House. It looks like the Senate is going to remain divided. But who knows? It's still up in the air. I know a lot of people maybe don't even care. But Denver says it's to put a bit of a stop to the expansion of the Belt and Road and that trajectory. Oh, the Ukraine thing. I feel like maybe there are a lot of different motives going on with Ukraine. Multiple. Anyways. Yeah, wait, somebody said that to me. Hold on. All my videos in the past year are gone from YouTube? I don't know what that means. It's weird. Somebody else said that to me too. But I didn't really, I kind of looked at it and I said I was like, there's videos there, but I don't know. I wonder, I'll have to go look. That's very weird. That is very weird if that's true. I don't know what that means. Or a lot of my maybe some of my past videos were taken down. So what happened was all of them are gone. From when though? When did they start? Did they start when I went back on YouTube? Is that what's going on? I mean, that's concerning, but I haven't gotten any strikes and I haven't gotten any. The last one is See You on Rockfin. Oh. Whoa. All of them. Whoa, that is very weird. They didn't send me any notifications. They didn't say something was going on. That is very, very weird. Well, what I did was I like hid my channel for a while. When I went off, I didn't delete my channel, Blackbear News. But I like deactivated my channel. Yeah, the recent videos are under live. That is so weird. Oh, wow. So I deactivated my channel, and I think they said something like, your videos might disappear. Max says they're all up on my YouTube. Okay. Show my screen. Oh, I don't know. Do I have time to do all this right now? Is the question. Do we have time to investigate the missing YouTube videos? I mean, you know, I'm not really. Here, you guys want to see my YouTubes? Oh, wait. They haven't disappeared. They haven't disappeared. That's what Poppy said. Content. So I can see all, you know, I can see all my videos. Actually, all my videos are here. And they all say they're public. And all my live videos are here. So I don't know. It could be a glitch, guys. You guys could be jumping to some conclusions here. You know. Poppy says they are all under live videos. Yeah, here's all my videos. These are all my past videos, guys. Huh. Yeah, so they're all there, guys. So that, you know, I appreciate the heads up. But nothing is going on. They might be moving things around, but oh, anyways, the last thing I was going to say was the last thing I was going to say was that when I deactivated my channel, they said something about you could lose all your videos. So like your videos might all go away when you come back and you activate your channel. They were all still there. So I don't know. They're all still there. But I actually expected to lose all my videos. I thought maybe that would happen. All right, let's get into it. All right, so yeah, we figured it out. Let me read something I was talking about. I played the video on regenerative farm, and you know, and we already talked about it yesterday. That guy playing, you know, in the video was a little bit off base, right? And the whole video was about like, well, suppose we, you know, had a manageable population of humans on the planet, and we, you know, all let our cows and our pigs and our chickens just roam free and have, you know, lovely time on the planet Earth until they're ready to be food for us. Yeah, that would be ideal. An ideal way to do some animal husbandry, but we're not, you know, we don't do it like that. So Bella says Osama lost 14 years of content with no strikes or warning. That's just crazy. No bueno. All right. Anyway, so I'll read this from Lou sent me this. He said, Kevin, If you're going to talk about meat production, both conventional and sustainable regenerative, do some homework. I think I don't know. I think my thoughts on this were not too off base. Current conventional practices are what lead to high emissions from fossil fuels for annual crop production, harvesting, transportation, and methane. Yes, from cows fed a diet that they are not suited for. Cows and other ruminant animals evolved with grasslands and savannas, not corn and soybeans. Yeah, I mean, and your points are well taken, Lou. I appreciate it. Yeah, the way we're doing it now is not sustainable for the planet. And I think I pointed that out yesterday. The guy said, "Yeah, no, these are all part of the natural life cycle." Well, yeah, if we all lived naturally in balance with the planet, but that's not how we raise cows. And Lou is pointing that out. Water pollution from poorly managed manure and feedlot settings, and add in all the herbicides and insecticides used in the feed production and the routine antibiotic use, and you could cover most of the downsides of modern meat production. Right. Well-managed ruminant animals can mimic the impact and habitat and productivity of large herd animals with very low machinery and chemical inputs and create less demands on the arable land base than conventional practices currently do. Ruminants also have the ability to forage on plants growing on land that is not suitable for farming, too hilly, poor soils, etc., and create meat products that are way more nutritious than that of conventional meat. Plus, leave the land they graze on in a higher state of productivity and soil health than land that is farmed conventionally for feed production, in most cases using heavy soil disturbance prior to planting and during the growing season, which degrades soils, mostly by oxidizing the carbon into CO2. Anyways, in the not-so-distant past, the populations of all ruminant animals globally far outnumbered today's confined animal herds, far outnumbered. This is not to refute the statistics of today's animal populations far outnumbering wild animals. That is a matter of human action. Again, it's not the cow, it's the how. Yeah. TCR said the guy yesterday didn't mention that those cows he's raising get driven around on trucks once they're dead. Right. Yeah, there were a whole lot of problems with that. That was a very selective bit of information there. So anyways, we're going to move on. Let's go gadget. So yeah, there was a hurricane, now a tropical storm, doing some damage in Florida. And I was right that it is rare. I asked yesterday, when does hurricane season end? Isn't it? It's a little late for hurricane season, and it is late for hurricane season. I guessed correctly. Anyways, this is the first November hurricane in 37 years. And just the fourth November hurricane to make landfall in the mainland U.S. in records dating to the mid-19th century. So it is very rare indeed. This is extremely rare. So there you go. And I also saw this. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not even showing you this. Whoops. Not that one. So it's now a tropical storm, but doing a lot of damage. Daytona Beach, Ocean Court, Beachfront, and Hawaiian Inn both getting clobbered by waves at 11 a.m. this morning. So that's, oh, dang it, crap, poop. Sorry. Sorry about that. Where did that go? I was trying to show you this and then it disappeared. Blah. I was trying to blow it up and it wouldn't let me blow it up. Goodbye pool. Goodbye swimming pool. I wonder if they'll get on to rebuilding that swimming pool. I'm sure they will. We're going to have to, we got to allocate some money to rebuild the swimming pool right on the ocean. That'll be smart. Well, let's look at some other videos of this seems to be a big news story. There are homes falling into the ocean. How about that sea level rise? Oh, your models are all wrong. I don't know. Does this have anything to do with models? I see sea level rise. I see homes being washed away. I'm not looking at models. You seem to be the one that's stuck on models, sir. We also have Poppy Davis says, my sister-in-law has been in a condo since Ian flooded home. Yesterday had to evacuate condo and go to gutted home. Jesus. Condo fell in the ocean. Good Lord. Yeah, and actually remember when that apartment building collapsed last year and killed a bunch of people? That was all the evidence pointed to king tides and sea level rise, taking out the foundation of that, weakening the foundational structure of that apartment building. So that would be, ding, climate change. Bella says the sea has risen. It can be measured. Well, of course it can be measured. It can be measured, and it can also be witnessed. As in homes that used to be far from the ocean or ocean front are now in the ocean. That's called sea level rise. Again, ding, climate change. And I ask, to all the harpers out there, is harp, are they using harp to pump up the oceans? I mean, that's a serious amount, to make the oceans. I mean, maybe they're saying, those people are saying, well, they make the hurricanes, and then the hurricanes are big, and then they make I don't know, whatever. Anyways, there's a tremendous amount of energy, extra energy in the Earth system. And logically, it is climate change induced. It is, the Earth is heating. The Earth is heating. And I don't know, maybe there will be days when we can argue about why. Maybe. But I mean, Poppy sent me a link on this. I'm not saying that there isn't funny business. That they aren't trying to do funny business with the weather. I'm not saying that that's not happening. I'm just saying that is not the cause of what is going on. Could be in the mix there, but that is not the driver of what's going on. Again, because data and observation say so. But always willing to, if you have data and observation about these other things going on, please send it my way, because I would be very happy to talk about it. Homes, buildings collapsing into the ocean in southeast Florida. Warnings to evacuate areas as Nicole pushes huge volume of water on shore, eroding coastlines. The beach safety office also collapsed. That is ironic. Homes and buildings collapsing into the ocean. And this is one of the areas where sea level rise is, the east coast of the United States is seeing some of the highest levels of sea level rise. And so there you go. Anyways, there's lots of video of homes crumbling into the ocean. Swimming pools wrecked. I hope none of these people decide to rebuild, or hopefully someone just says, nah, that we're not going to do that. We're going to designate this area. This area is now the beachfront, and your home that used to be on the beachfront ain't going to be here no more. I mean, I don't know how you could rebuild on something that isn't there anymore called land. Dane Wigington has plenty of data and observations at geoengineering. I know. I've seen lots of Dane Wigington stuff. I'm not mad at Dane Wigington. I just his conclusions are incorrect. I have to tell you. I find what he presents very interesting, and he does have data and evidence for some of the claims he makes, but not for all of the claims he makes. Again, and I've talked about this years ago. He is one of the people that's saying, well, if they would only just stop the geoengineering, he puts geoengineering as the cause of what is happening, and then he goes, oh, and climate change. Or maybe geoengineering is causing climate change. And he's wrong. He's just wrong about that. But he's not wrong in stating that something is going on. I think that's correct. I think something is going on. But I mean, his conclusions and the way he presents his evidence is somewhat misleading. And I find that, I don't know. I find that a little annoying. So I kind of stopped watching Dane Wigington, and he also repeats the same information over and over and over again. There's never any differentiation between a video he made last weekend and the one he made 5 years ago. It's like the same information every single time, pretty much. So I don't know. That's my thoughts on Dane Wigington. Again, there's some compelling. He does have compelling evidence for some things. Another video. This is on Hollywood Beach. This is a river that's running through a, what's supposed to be a mall, I guess. So that's happening. So we're seeing, oh, I'm sorry. I should, so, there's lots of video of things going on. There's interesting videos coming out of COP27. COP27, if it wasn't a joke before, COP27 is just looking real clownish. And I don't know who's paying attention really to COP27. Anybody who's serious. Here's this woman, I forget her name, Evelyn or Vanderlyn, or she's, EU mucky muck, saying that they were going to do climate reparations. Wall Street Silver posts this. And they're saying, Wall Street Silver, now the elite want you to pay climate reparations, taking money from poor people in rich countries and sending it to rich people in poor countries. Well, I am not a fan of this woman. I'm not a fan of the WEF climate policies and all that stuff. But you're assuming that's what they mean by, you're assuming, and probably rightly, that the rich people won't be forking out all this money. It'll be the governments on the backs of the poor people, supposedly sending this money. A conference of clowns, yes. Sending this money to African nations, and is it only rich people that are going to get the money? I don't know. It's kind of an assumption about the way the money will flow, but maybe that assumption is correct. Who knows? I'm not actually mad at the assumption. I'm just saying it's an assumption, but.
The idea: make big polluters pay for climate damages in developing countries. For more, Euronews spoke to the European Commission President in Sharm el-Sheikh.
It is an important topic, and I'm happy that it is an agenda item this time at COP27. It was never before, so now it's important to sit down and really to define and sort out what is it, and then to look at the funding that is available. And I'm not speaking of the 100 billion that are for climate finance. There, the European Union is also doing its fair share, more than its fair share, with 23 billion. But I'm speaking about other funds we have to look at.
The idea: make big.
Okay, well, I don't know. I don't know about. He just puked, Jess. Right, Jess Farm. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, climate reparations. I'm not sure I'm a fan of that. In fact, I know that I'm not. The best reparations you could do for climate is to stop mucking up the climate, right? And you know the drill. Privatize these corporations, put them out of business, and global shipping, global finance, global, all, big global, and the whole thing, right? And let people to go back to a mostly agricultural lifestyle in a very local way. Right. Let's, or maybe in the meantime, until we get to that extreme position, we could tax the wealthy to we'll go back to a 90% tax rate. That would be the best way to start these climate reparations, right? But is that how it's going to happen? Probably not. Let's watch another disturbing video from COP27. Remember the other day when I was joking about trading crypto carbon credits? Crypto carbon credits? This person is actually talking about just that. And he's also talking about putting a value on literally the entire planet, which that's not what we want to do. It's not what we want to do. This guy is saying carbon is moving very quickly into a system where it's going to be very close to a currency. We start thinking about putting prices on water, on trees, on biodiversity. Are we thinking about that? Are we really thinking about that? That's ridiculous. These people are off the deep end. No, we're not going to tokenize the entire planet, the value of biodiversity and of nature. We're not going to do that. We shouldn't be doing that. He says, how do we start tokenizing? This is whatever. This is definitely a scam, and I urge people to resist this particular scam.
So central banks are also starting to understand nature has real value. Carbon, we already figured out. And carbon is moving very quickly into a system where it's going to be very close to a currency. Basically being able to take a ton of absorbed or sequestered carbon and being able to create a forward pricing curve with financial service architecture, documentation. I just came out of a meeting this morning how we're trying to accelerate that. To be quite honest, not to get very boring, that we're on financial topics and things, but they're going to be derivatives. And you need ISDA documentation if you want to trade a derivative in the marketplace. And all of this actually matters for nature as well. I'm going to quickly hand off, but again, I want to talk about value one more time, because the southern part of the world has value far greater than large elements of the northern part. And we start thinking about and putting prices on water, on trees, on biodiversity. We find, where does that sit? I'm doing a lot of work out of Asia, and I say that my next door neighbor, Indonesia, is the left lung of the world, and obviously Brazil's the right. And Africa absolutely critical, and we need their natural capital as a system-based world more than we need that 66 billion we've got sitting in the basement of the Bank of England. So how do we, and I'm hoping this discussion today, at least from a central banker's point of view, on how do we start tokenizing, how do we start building systems that create the value but transfer that value around the world?
No, sir. No, sir. Please be quiet, sir. Oh, no, absolutely not. We cannot let these people should not be involved in the conversation around saving the planet or helping the planet or directing the future of the planet. These people, and I really hope that people start standing up to this, that people resist this type of lunacy. We're not going to talk. We're not going to listen to central bankers talk about how they're going to monetize the planet and thus saving it. No, dude. That is disturbing. It's creepy, and I don't know what we're gonna. I don't know what we're gonna do about this, but I'm hoping that people raise awareness around this enough so that there should be massive widespread protest against these people and an utter rejection of the WEF. Going forward, some people are actually saying that there's a new premier in Alberta who said that, we should reject all things WEF. There might be hope. There might be hope that this one or a few very small voices might start growing louder. But yes, fie on these people. From Peter Dines. He's just showing there's an underwater hotel in the Maldives. Maldives of all places, right? This is a place that's going underwater. But people are spending $50,000 a night to stay in this underwater hotel. Ooh, how cool. How super cool. But meanwhile, the Maldives are going underwater. It's just not going to be super cool for that long. It's, live it up, I guess, right now. Smoke them while you got them. Oh, somebody said the corals they're looking at are dead. Oh, this is great. Yeah. Another really good reply to this. You guys know what that's from. From Planet of the Apes. All right. One more. I know Hambone says smoke them if you got them all the time, but it's a good quote. Peter Dines, on the current trajectory, global warming of around 2.6 C may mean Earth could only support a population of around 1 billion people. So we are heading towards 10. Those figures don't add up. And he's pointing out something I've said quite a few times, which is you may not think that overpopulation is a problem, but, eventually there just won't be the ability for the Earth to support 8 billion people. And then you could either see the writing on the wall and have adult conversations around it, or you can be children and close your eyes to it or close your ears to it. Insist that it doesn't it isn't happening or it doesn't exist, and end up in a much worse place if you don't have that conversation. That's actually the danger of denialism. I know denialism gets thrown around a lot, you know, election denier or whatever, you know, climate denier. But the danger of real denial to a real problem is that you end up getting worse, right? Famously, alcoholics or drug addicts that are in denial refuse to see a problem for what it is, risk doing a lot more damage to themselves and to other people. But, you know, and lastly, I'm going to take your call in a second, Phantomus, but I wanted to show this chart from Aaron K. Nope, that's not it. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Here's a chart of human population from the last 12,000 years. And so, nope, this is there's no issue with this, right? Human population for thousands of years stayed, you know, around a certain level. And starting about, you know, 1600, 1700, it started slowly rising. And then in the last, you know, 50 or 100 years, bam, going straight up in a most unusual way. So that, I mean, you cannot look at that graph and go, no, everything's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That's totally fine. I don't see how you can look at that and go, what problem? I don't see how you can do that. A sane, logical person can do that. You know, I mean, replace people in this graph with like food or alcohol or cigarettes or something, you know, anything. Right? Maybe on a personal level. Oh, this is, you know, Jimmy, this is your alcohol consumption in the last few years. Think this might be good for you? No? Yes? Not a problem? Your alcohol consumption has gone up, you know, like, I don't even know what number to put on this. 3,000 fold? No, I insist that this is not a problem. I insist. Because it just does not fit with my preconceived notion of what it is that I want to think about this subject. Andre, there is a lot of magical thinking out there indeed. Okay, Phantomus, how you doing?
Well, it is interesting that the world we find ourselves in. I think the real problem is we don't have any defined priorities. And what I mean by that is like we like to talk in semantics for so much of what's taught to us on the TV and on the radio and everything. So we say, yeah, we need to change the planet. Everybody's like, oh yeah, we need to change the planet. We need to do better with our money system. Yeah, we need to do better with our money system. You know, we need to start caring about the homeless. But see, the problem, folks, is those are semantics. It's abstract. There's nothing defined. And this is what this is kind of like the grift that's going on. You can see it on the TV constantly, where they'll suggest something, nothing will come about it, and over and over again. That's why we need to get I don't know how we do it, but we need to get more serious about defined priorities.
Sure. Well, I mean, but how do you make something important to people? You know, and that we're kind of lost in the sauce, I think, about what, you know, so people what's important to a lot of people is just, what's in their bank account, everyday survival, right? Taking care of their family, right? Those kind of, and how do we get from here to there? But like, overarching large ideas about what's good for the planet or good for humanity, like those are things that people don't want to consider, or they want to leave it to the mucky mucks. They want to leave it to the people at the head of the table, right? Or whatever. However, I might be putting it wrong, but you know what I'm saying.
Well, I hate to say it, but I think we need to find our own environmental Frank Luntz. We need to find someone who taps right into the brain of the general public, talks about how to reach people and how to get them interested in this subject, and how to create not just a conversation, but a complete plan of what we do next and the follow through. Because
Right.
Kevin,
Right.
it seems to me the problem is that if we don't do it, folks, someone else is going to come along that we don't like, and they're going to be the dictator of God knows what. And so there's this vacuum right now that needs to be, for lack of a better term, it needs to be filled, because that's what you see with, like, it almost happened with Trump, right? Trump almost became like the emperor of sensationalism. In some ways he still is, but what I'm saying is he's not the main focus.
Right.
Right.
Well, yeah, we're stuck in a normalcy trap, right? Where things have to be defined and described in ways that people can understand, right? Like, so, and all political, that's the problem with, there are no really good political conversations going on because nobody can go outside of these prescribed, they can't color outside the lines. And if you just kind of color outside the lines, people lose their minds, right? And it's all of that is, they lose their minds on TV, and then everybody's supposed to mimic what they, I can't believe Tulsi Gabbard said that. I can't believe that, Bernie and Elizabeth Warren are asking for like a 2% tax rate on the rich. I mean, what are these guys? Are these Hitler? Their followers are brown shirts, right? Like that kind of language is going on, and then people see that and they go, "Oh, well, that is a crazy idea," right? So our guardrails are defined for us, but we accept them, and that's the problem. We accept these guardrails. And they're also trying to put the guardrails on us. Like, you can only say these things on YouTube. You can only say these things on Twitter. You can't go outside the lines of acceptable speech, quote unquote. What's nice and normal and respectable, right? So if you go outside the lines of what's respectable, then you're not to be listened to. So, but that's a big problem. The whole free speech debate is actually very wrapped up in even talking about, acceptable, possible futures for humanity and or the planet.
Well, I think what's interesting is the fact that you can see right now how many people, what the conversation is right now. You go on Twitter and they say, "Is it a red wave? Was it a red wave?" I mean, they're going to spend days and days whether it was a red wave or not. And it's just going to continue on these little stupid points that get us nowhere.
I have a harder time believing. There were a lot of people talking about, how weird it was that Fetterman won or some other people won, right? Or people talking about. Honestly, the thing that I saw that was most surprising to me was all 6 members of the squad were reelected. I was like, really? weren't people just like at AOC's town halls just screaming at her? Aren't people mostly pretty disaffected with the aren't people really onto what they're doing? How did they, that's, when I saw that headline, I was like, huh. I had to think about that one. I was like, I actually can't believe that. I cannot believe that.
You have to wonder how many people are asleep. I'll just leave it there. You just have to wonder how many people are asleep, because I think that's the real problem where it comes into play, where there's such a lack of critical thinking, and I mentioned this time and time before, but there's such a lack of nuance that there's only those types of constructs, those areas where you say, well, wait a minute, you don't, so you're for this person. No, it doesn't mean I'm for any person. It's just that I see this particular side right here, and I see why this person is swaying this type of audience. And it's very strange, because you would think with all the tools and the reach that we have in terms of technology that it would be the opposite, but it's not.
You would think. Well, yeah. I mean, that's why they're censored so much, because there was a time when the internet allowed people to talk about all kinds of things, and that became very dangerous because people started waking up. And people started going, oh, yeah, actually, what is presented to us as reality is not reality, or is their version of reality. And there's another version of reality out there that's that we should probably be paying attention to or talking about.
Yeah.
And then that started to become more prevalent. And then they started going, well, you're thinking these things because of misinformation. Somebody's telling you to think these things, right? The bad people on the internet are telling you to think these things, right? And so it's very effective. This brainwashing, this is very effective. Very effective.
When you said there was a time, I thought of that James Brown song.
Yes, that's right.
All right. I'll see you later.
Yep. All right, man. Thanks. How you doing, William? I see you. Give me a couple seconds, and I'll get to your call. Okay. Is it your birthday, Osama? Is that true and correct? If it is, happy birthday, sir. Happy birthday, sir. I hope you're having a good birthday. If it's your birthday, I hope you're having a good birthday. Tomorrow. Word. Nice. Cool. Happy birthday, sir. Happy birthday to you. Okay. William, I'm going to take your call, but I'm also going to go over to YouTubers. We'll see you tomorrow at noon, and I'm going to jump off and finish the show on Rockfin because there was something I absolutely need to talk about. I absolutely need to talk about this thing today. I'm going to talk about it on Rockfin. So we'll see you over on Rockfin. Peace to you.